Melissa D., I have just watched your testimony video, and because you're such a researcher, as am I want to alert you to a fascinating thing. The question of what is church, what is ecclesia? Focus on the concept of a quorum. You must have a certain setting in order to have truth. When Jesus was a child, there was a thing called the minyan, M-I-N-Y-A-N. Minyan means 10 in Hebrew. If you wanted, the most important thing of every day is the morning prayer of blessing for everyone in the world. God basically says to the Israelites, he says, I didn't pick you people because you're good. I picked you because I'm the God of everybody. And when you come to my tabernacle, you have to pray for the entire human family. So the most important thing every day is praying for everyone. And you're not allowed to start the morning prayer until you have 10 men present for the morning prayer. And the funny rabbi says, there's always women and children willing to be part of the prayer, but you've got to have 10 men together. And the rabbi made a joke, and he said, that means that you have to settle with at least 20 men really near to each other, because God understands morning emergencies. If you need 10 men to start morning prayer, which is the most important thing of the day, then you got to have 20 men of proper prayer age settled close together. So that's the minyan. And a minyan of 10 men does not mean only 10 men in a room. It means a bunch of people. Okay. In Jewish terms, I mean, we need to think in terms of Jesus' real life with the Jews and what it was all about. So one man equals a couple elders, a couple women, a bunch of children, and possibly even a handful of servants and employees who pray to the same God that's giving benefits to the house that they're working for. So this is a bunch of people related to one man. How many people got out of Egypt? What's the number? You should know that number. That's an important number. 600,000 men and their families and their servants and their livestock. The wise rabbi says this equals at least 3 to 12 million people on conservative estimate. 600,000 men and their families equals possibly 12 million total. So, when you've got a minyan of 10 men, I mean, every man has got at least 3 to 5. Okay, so 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 5 is 50. So with a minyan of 10 men, there could be 50 people. Okay. Now, when Yeshua says to the male disciples, now I say to you, when 2 or 3 of you are gathered together, there I am in your presence. He is knocking out this concept of the forced quorum of 10 men. This is not, I always assumed, it's like, oh, okay, if 2 or 3 souls are gathered together, there's Jesus. Well, that's true. But that's not entirely true in a Jewish context. Check this out. The early disciples used a handful of guidelines for how to make ecclesia. In Acts 21, how many fish were caught in the second miraculous catch of fish recorded in the New Testament? 153. And the net was not breaking. Do you realize that 153 would be the maximum that could be in one communion? Do you realize that for 300 years of the faith or more, the gathering of people in a home was a cluster of 2 or 3 family men and all of their people? At least 2 or 3 family men. Now, does that mean 10 family men and their families is bad? No, doesn't mean it's bad. But Jesus is changing the quorum. Nobody ever presented that to me. I learned that through research. And Melissa, you are a researcher. If you want, call me. 863-262-8181. 863-262-8181. And I will share the resources with you. I don't have layers and layers of technological abilities like you do. And I am motivated to throw more info at you because you're an info head and a warrior that wants to help people understand stuff just like me. Woohoo! Yippee! Good job, good job. Please check out Grandpa Honesty Guy and check out Good Communion for Good Family and pray that I can have some assistance in the in the technological stuff. And I pray that Stephen Bankars and what's her name? Donna? I forget. The other woman that you moved around with a little bit. Peace be with you. All the best.